Good day, everybody. It's Max, and welcome back to Satisfactory Update 8 here on the 2,000 Hour Plus map. You betcha. And today is release day for Update 8 into early access. So, of course, earlier in the summer, or throughout the summer, we had, of course, had done... My throat is all perplexed. We had converted... Well, I wouldn't say converted. We updated the map to work with Update 8. So my 2,000 hour map hadn't been looked at since late Update 4. And there was a lot of broken things. And throughout the summer, we spent about 250 hours fixing that map and getting it updated in the experimental branch of Update 8. Today, of course, is the official release of the update into early access, and what we're going to do is, I'll switch the screen. How about we do that? Okay, do that. Sure. Here it is in early access, and now we're going to actually open the map up in early access, take a quick tour. We're not going to be doing any real crazy building today. We've got everything updated except for the new rocket parts, the final round of rocket parts, or elevator parts, if you want to call them that. And, of course, so we just want to kind of check the base, because, of course, right after they came back from vacation, we had stopped playing. Because we had updated up to that point, and they broke a bunch of stuff and then had to fix a bunch of stuff, so that's what we're doing. Before we get started, of course, I should have thanked all the names that were going at the bottom of the screen, but I switched the screens already. And, of course, the live chat, including Mr. O and Mr. Johnson. I hope it's all good in the neighborhood, you bet. And, yeah, so it's now into early access out of experimental, so we're good to go. And, of course, all those watching in whatever time zone you're watching me afterwards, I appreciate that very much. So we're actually going to load the game right from here. Sure. Can't believe this came out in 2019. I mean, that's just crazy that they're still in early access. And this update took them, what, like 9 months because of the upgrade engine to Unreal 5, and then they upgraded it again to like 5.2, and then they broke a bunch of stuff. So, you know, thanks to names or persons under those names. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, the names were scrolling, right? I just switched the screen. I did it in reverse today, right? So we're going to open the file, Utopia Alpha 113. Of course, 113. 113, of course, is actually a little bit of a segue number into Pixar. It's one of the favorite numbers they like to use in their movies. And I wasn't on this weekend. I played Saturday, but I didn't play Sunday and yesterday. I was off doing personal items myself. So and of course this was coming out today. It actually came out about 3.5 hours ago, and usually I try to get on right afterwards, but again, I just couldn't get away from work fast enough today and all that stuff, right? We're just getting too close to the holidays. Everybody's trying to wrap things up. It's been a crazy fall season. You know, just craziness. So don't feel bad about it at all. The parties that count are the ones that you make it to. That's what I talk about. Anyway, it's going to take like 3 minutes to load this file, so I might as well talk while we do that. Yeah, so I was off for a few personal days myself. So, you know, in fact, the other thing, of course, is that, you know, the medical staff have told me to try and cut back on activities a little bit and do a little more even a little more relaxing. Now, don't get me wrong, I find gaming to be very relaxing, but it shouldn't be the only relaxing thing I do. So, you know, I've been off trying these different things about trying to relax and stuff, and you know, try to, you know, medical people, right? Anyway, nevertheless, we'll see how it goes. For those watching, be sure to check the links in the description. Of course, for Instagram, X or Twitter or whatever we're calling it today. And of course for Discord, because of course my weekly schedule is posted there on Sunday/Monday, and of course then throughout the week I post all kinds of things, as Mr. O is now actually putting the Discord link into chat by using the Discord command, because that's a thing we can do here. You know, yeah, that's pretty cool. So anyway, like I said, this does take about 3 minutes. So that's why I would always load this in the background before starting any stream, because this file just takes so long to load. Okay, there we go. I think my favorite flying fish is not here. Where'd he go? I was sure he was coming here like any. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's way over there still. Oh, okay, that's fine. Hey, we're in the game, and let's fix up a something here. R.fog 0. Boop. There we go. Now we can see the base. Look at that. We are here, of course, at the main base of things. I don't think I have my, because this was a little bit of an impromptu hookup. I don't think I have my maps connected. But let me check here for a sec. Do I have the maps connected? I don't know. I might have them connected. Oh, I still do have them connected. Oh, look at that. Look at you go, Max. Yeah, they're still connected. Jamie, what's up? I hope it's all good in the neighborhood. That's right, Nightbot. It's Jamie's fault. So yes, we are actually at the very bottom of the map, in that green box, in the green box at the bottom of the map. And this is the base that we have in front of us, which looks awesome. May I add, because we're awesome. We're awesome here. And wow, I just noticed that the noise in the game is like redlined. My bad for that. There, let's see if we can adjust that sound. Okay, here comes our favorite ride, and we're going to talk about this. So this, we're here at the main base, and which is at the very bottom of the map in that green box. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to catch this ride. Of course, here at the main base, we do all kinds of stuff here. Up, 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 and away we go. Yep. Oh, don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Don't do that. Okay. I know you can put your weapon away. Oh, is it H? Yeah, there we go. So this, of course, is the main base where we make turbo motors and all that stuff. But we do so much more here now, right? That was part of the upgrades that we did in our 250 hours. On the phone, on the phone it sounded like white noise. Yeah, it's all good in the neighborhood, Jamie. You bet. You know how it is. Oh yes, I got now I have the overlay back on, right? And so earlier I didn't have the overlay. Now I got the overlay back. Yeah, go back to this. There we go. Gee, I'm having a hard time. Anyway, luckily our flying Jeff here. Jeff is not having a hard time flying us around. Of course, as we have a look at the base, we did so much. We did so much with this area of rebuild. Of course, we had to put in all the new machines to get the materials out. We got the whole new train station system over here. Of course, multiple train lines coming in from around the map. Of course, one of the big things they had changed from update 4 to update 8. Well, they changed it with like 5, I think, was train collision was now a thing, right? So we had to double all the tracking. We had to put in all new train stations, all the craziness. And sure enough, there are all the new train stations, bringing in all the materials up here. We're going to be touring a lot more of this map too, right? So, of course, we'll have time to have a look at it. Look at it, way over there, way over there. Of course, you can see another one of the sections of the map. But yeah, now that he's making the big swing back over here, we'll just point him straight ahead because he tends to fly pretty good. Of course, we do metal works and stuff. Metal and copper material is all done as we're coming up over this section here. So all the steel is being made just now coming below us for computers and things. And then, of course, we got stators. All the stators are made here. Rotors and stators are made in this section. Of course, way in the far corner there is the whole rebuild of craterium mining and copper mining with the 340 refineries that we're using to make that happen. That also was to include the rebuild for future factory works. So up in the upper right-hand corner for the Phase 4 stuff, which we haven't done yet. It's the final thing we have to do. Of course, we rebuilt a bunch of this to include those components, and that's what he's flying at right now. This whole section, of course, was rebuilt. It's got its own set of train stations to take this stuff over to the elevator factory, which we'll be going to and having a look at here. That was the famous saying for the A-Team. I love it when a plan comes together. Do 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 do. I mean, come on. I mean, it's the A-Team, right? Can't go wrong with the A-Team. I know it's awesome. So in this case, as you can see, we're flying over a bunch of refineries. This is all for smelting, right? These are smelting refineries for craterium ore and for copper ore. And of course all the water for that is, as you can see in the corner there. And then of course we're circling back around to the elevator area. And it's such a good show. Shame about the movie. Yeah, well, you know what? The movie wasn't that bad. I don't know. I don't understand people nowadays. Like, okay, the movie the movie might not have been everyone's cup of tea type of thing. But I don't know. I don't know. I didn't mind the movie. I thought it was. I thought it was okay. You know. I guess I'm easily entertained. Right. One thing about this section is here in about 20 days, Christmas time. That's right. Up there on the hill with the elevator is the entire Christmas factory. As you can see, the Christmas trees up there, they're all shined up and ready to go. We'll be playing this a little bit over the Christmas season. Well, yeah, I mean, they modernized it a little bit, right? Whereas the A-Team 77 package was more rough and tumble, right? I guess is the way to look at it. So, of course, for the Christmas season, we will be back in this map, and we're going to come off of here. Yeah. No, whoa, easy now. There we go. We're in the tube. All right, there we go. So we'll be back on this map for the Christmas season because Christmas, people, we got the Christmas factory up there, and it's going to be pumping out the Christmas stuff. You bet. That's what we do here. Okay, let's head on over to the rocket factory. Now, the rocket factory we've actually done very little with. What do you got here, by the way? You should actually have a look at your inventory before you go driving off. Well, you got so much junk. Okay, how about you put that, we should put some of this stuff in your hand. Sure, he says. What else do you got here? Put those on your legs, so, like, if we do run around, we can run around faster. Put that on your body, because that's probably something important. Sure. Do we need the gas mask right away? Probably not, but never hurts to be not safe, right? We can just keep throwing stuff here all day on here. You should probably put some nuts and some berries in your hand. That's fine. Okay. Okay, we got probably enough gas to get around the map. We're good, right? We're good. All right. So let's head on over now to the elevator factory. So we, of course, fixed all this up. We got it all up to Update 8 standards. Looks great, of course. Super happy about it. Now the sound's a little too low in the game, because of course it is. You can't have one way or the other, huh? You're going to be just that much of a pain today, huh, game? All right, that's fine. But, of course, when we did update this entire area, of course, using new towers, all the new stuff, we had to make a lot of changes. Right? They added a lot of new fluids to the game, hence all the new piping that we see here, right? I mean, we had to add all this new piping, all this new network stuff. Holy smokes. I mean, we did a lot of work. We did, like I said, about 260 extra hours of work just to fix the entire factory back up to working standard, right? Which is pretty intense. Of course, they added all these new aluminum parts, right? So we had to do all that. That was pretty intense. And we'll swing around this way. Of course, the blenders over here, these were all brand new. We had to add all these in. because, again, the formulas had changed, so we needed all these blenders to add all these ultra coolers, right? Because now it wasn't just about the heat sinks. You had to turn the heat sinks into these cooling units, and we needed these blenders to do that. So, of course, that was a thing. You betcha. Look at that. Cooling systems being made. All good in the neighborhood. All right. Let's hop on down here, jump in the car. Boop. There we go. Take it for a drive, big guy. Now, of course, as we explore the map, I expect the game to get slower as it has to load new chunks in, and of course, that's why a lot of times when we built stuff on, then we would usually stay in an area or one or two areas during that session, just because it was a little easier on the old CPU, right? I mean, yeah, I got an i7 9700K with all that really cool stuff, and we got lots of memory and things, but even still, the game gets pretty intense when we start exploring around the map. Ooh, nice miss on that one, Max. So we'll take a quick tour on over here. We could have taken a train, but maybe we'll take the train back when we get to nuclear. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. All right. That's what we'll save that for. So we are now... Oh, I see that bug is still in the game. All right. Ramp changing. But anyway, whatever. So we're on our way over here to the elevator parts factory. Now, over here is where I've made all my elevator parts, and we can actually bring it up here on the map once we get over here. But of course, as part of this build, we redid a bunch of stuff. On our way over to the elevator factory, we're going to be going right by the oil production facility number 1, and it was all redesigned, all rebuilt, and that was a huge project. Nuclear is running great. It still has the periodic. I don't think I went and fixed the blender issue, so it still might jam up on the odd occasion. But I have over 10 large crates of rods, so there's enough nuclear power that even if the blenders did jam up, I think I could run the map for 40 hours, I think, and still not have any problems. So I'm not too worried about it, right? It's all good. So if we get over there and we see the blenders jammed up, I'll just clear them up for now. I do have a plan, a redesign plan to fix those. I just never did get around to it. Again, this fall... the whole late summer fall session for me, with work and just the IBS and all that stuff, it was a really rough fall. It was a really rough fall. Makes you think about retirement all the time, let me tell you. It's just the way it is. So anyway, yeah, we of course redesigned this. Of course, is oil factory number 1. If we do have a little time, we may take an interior drive as well. Of course, the oscillator factory is in there. That's what that line was back there, where the train switch was. Taking the train into the oscillator factory. But for now, a lot of our driving will just be spent on the outside. Of course, these oil factories were all reworked with the new Update 8 experimental branch. And of course, all of our rubber and all the rubber and plastic all comes through here. It's all self-recycling, all the wonderful things. In fact, if we move over here to get a nice little picture of this one, we should be able to see it over here. Now, I am hoping that some of the bugs I've gotten rid of have not returned, because, them silly little flying firefly bugs, because they drive me crazy in this version. So if I jump out here, it turns out the car's out of gas, dude. Okay, well then this is a good place to stop, isn't it? There we go. Throw some gas in there, and now we can probably get up here a little bit. We'll just fly up here a little bit so as we can get a nice view of this. Shouldn't be too much. We won't. I don't think we have to get up here too high. Just high enough that we can get a nice look at it. Oh yeah, there's a nice look at it. Look at that oil field working, baby. Oh yeah, green lights beyond. Yep. Yes. I mean, we're finding that out. So so when I had finished updating the map, they were coming back off vacation, and they were doing some more fixing, right? Because they kind of got it working and put it into experimental, and then they went on their summer vacation break, right? And of course, that was fine, right? We played it the whole 9 yards. We fixed up the whole map with the way it was, and then when they came back, their first patch after they came back broke a bunch of the nodes, a bunch of copper nodes, and a bunch of not sulfur nodes, but the limestone nodes. And if had I loaded the map at that time, we would have had a bunch of stuff not working, right? Some of the nodes were all a mess. So it was actually our timing on getting the map fixed in update 8 was actually really good, because we finished that up, and then they came back and broke them nodes, which it was okay, so I didn't have to worry about that. So hopefully, as far as I understand, those nodes are fixed. If not, this thing's going to crash in about half an hour, right? So we're going to find out. But anyway, yeah, Oilfield 1 looks awesome. I'm very happy with Oilfield 1. Doing lots of work for us. In fact, it's handling almost all the work now. Oilfield 2 is still offline. I didn't need to bring it back online, but we're going to take a stop at Oilfield 2 because there's a lot of copper processing going on there as well. But now we'll head on over here to the rocket factory. Well, I keep calling it the rocket factory. It's the space elevator port rocket factory / whatever it's doing. Now, I will say the game is running really smooth up to this point. Usually when we've loaded in this much stuff by now is when I start to get the choppiness, but maybe I'm just having a really good day? I don't know. I will take it. Of course, as we approach into the elevator factory, this, of course, is what makes all elevator parts. And, of course, the other nice part about this area is if we do run short on power, you can kill this entire factory off, right? And it doesn't affect the rest of the map. That is the kind of nice part about having the elevator parts in their own factory. So, are the bugs... Now, I went up there and I painfully killed these suckers, so I'm hoping they're still dead. But, of course, we can never depend on that. And I see I don't have enough bullets. That's scary. I only have 14 bullets, so this is probably not the best. Of course, anybody that knows me knows that I have a bum left hand, so I really have to be a little more careful than many people when trying to do left-handed stuff, like flying, which is a thing. Okay, so we're going to come up here a little bit. And the reason we're coming out here is that if those things are back, they will stay over there. Okay, this is actually a pretty good height anyway for this factory. Of course, there's another, what do we got here? Another couple hundred. Well, I think there's almost 240. Maybe it's 270. Anyway, there's a lot of refineries here. They all do the same thing, right? These are mineral refineries. So this first row is doing all iron. The second row, I think, is doing iron and some copper. And then the third row is doing all copper, right? And then, of course, that all gets pumped in over here. This is where all the steel is made. And then basically the rest of this entire desert area is making the rocket parts. Everything, like the little mini frames right up to whatever it is the elevator needed, right? We're going to be driving through the back end of this anyway and going through the desert to head around to nuclear anyway. Of course, some of the more higher end parts are coming up here. And of course, we haven't really done anything with this factory. This factory is still kind of in its default state as we make tweaks and changes over to get ready for the Phase 4 parts, which is the kind of final thing to do with this factory. So this is kind of where we would be picking up to start tearing apart / putting it back together, because This factory was made before the phase 4 parts. It only goes up to phase 3 here. So the phase 4 parts, we have to do some tweaking around here before we could bring them online. But it's a really good picture to show all that. I mean, this factory, it covers the entire left-hand desert here. I'll bring up the map just to show that. If we switch to this for a second. That's this button right here. So that is the orange box in the upper left-hand corner. This is the orange box in the upper left-hand corner is functional. It's just not up to update phase 4 standards. So of course, that orange box in the upper left-hand corner is what we're looking at here. It covers the entire upper corner desert, and that's what you see in front of you. Yeah, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense. Of course, one of the very first things we had to do here was power. One of the big problems that we had when we came onto this map was... Oh, that was a little bit of a hard landing there, Max. What are you doing? Well, it's okay. One of the very first things we had to worry about when I came onto this map was power. Obviously, from update 4 to update 8, they had made changes to nuclear. And so all my nuclear was broken. And I had... I don't know, what did we have? About 10 hours? I think it was between 8 and 10 hours of nuclear rods kind of on standby. But that meant that we literally had to ignore everything about the entire world. And, of course, one of the very first thing we had to do was fix nuclear. We had to get it back online. We had to look at all the new formulas. We had to make the adjustments to the nuclear power plants, the assemblies, because, the blenders weren't a thing and all the stuff, and we had to add new blenders. We had to change the formulas and some of the machinery to process into nuclear rods. So there was a lot going on there, and of course, all we're doing now is we're driving through the entire desert factory so we can get to the backside of this thing. Because this is a huge factory. It's doing. We do a lot of stuff on this map. It is awesome. It's awesome. We just do a lot of stuff. So here we are. We're finally getting to the backside of the desert map, and the desert factory, where the elevator factory. Okay, yay us! We can get out of here now. Which way do you want to go here? Now that we can blow up gas plants at will, which we've done lots of, don't get me wrong, but I haven't really cleaned up any of the gas plants back here, so we're just gonna sneak around them this way for now. I probably have explosives on me, but we won't worry about that. All right, there we go. All right, we'll drive down here. They did change some of this area, of course, so it's a little bit different to drive around here at the moment. We'll just drive up this way, nice and easy. There we go, and then we'll get ready to make the left-hand turn here in a second. Now, obviously, you can drive straight through and go through the center of the map. That takes you in through the jungle area. But of course, we're going to take the rocky road through the back desert area. Of course, is what we're going to do there. Nice and easy. Now they did, like I said, they did rechange this area, so that's why some of my light poles are a little off and all the stuff. And they added like new trees and things. So, I'll have to clean this stuff up. Listen, you guys, just stay out of the way, would you? All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to come around this way now. Because they changed this, so you can actually get down here a couple of ways. If I stop right here and I turn around, zip. Okay, yeah. See, like right there behind me. See that hill? That didn't exist, right? So you always used to have to drive up to the greens patch up there and then make a left turn to come down here. But they changed it now, and you can actually just drive straight down there. But I never remember that because I'm so used to driving the old way that I still take the old way, I guess. It's just the way it is. Now, this here is actually, here has been all cleaned up. It's just not rebuilt yet. So one thing I did do is I did clean this all up. This is oil field number 3, and just like oil field number 2, it's been cleaned up but not rebuilt. Because we were able to bring the factory back online with just oil field 1 and its size, right? With the size change ratios and all that. So this is oil field 3. As mentioned, I cleaned it all up and put it into boxes so as I could rebuild it, but just haven't needed to rebuild it yet because it's actually in pretty good shape. So we're just going to drive up this way, and we'll head on over to the swamplands for nuclear. Now we'll the drive for that. We'll take the back way here. The one area I never did build on, and that's because I'm waiting for like the final release of releases, is like the version 1.0 release, is the new desert, right? The new desert in the upper right corner of the map. And wow, this is really intense. I think I gotta go this way. It's been a little while since I've driven back here, but we got a few fart bombs out here. It'll be fine, Max. It's gonna be fine. You can just drive right through this. Just push your way through it, dude. Push your way through it. You'll get through it. Yeah, I know. You're gonna damage me a little bit. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. I'll blow you guys up later. So of course, when they redid the desert here, I think in update 5. I mean, I never had anything built on this desert because I'd always left it for version 1.0. Whenever that was going to be, I knew I was going to need like a big building area and a big space to build stuff, and I knew that the rocky, or well, this isn't the rocky desert. I think it's just called the desert. This is where I wanted to do the 1.0 stuff over here, right? So when they did the big refresh area over here, I didn't have to worry about that. A lot of people build out here because it's flat and lots of resources, and it's the one area I didn't build out here. As you can see, the floating power poles from all the terrain changes they've done. It's just prime real estate for me, baby. That's right. When 1.0 comes out and they say, I want you to build the things of the things, yeah, I got a whole section of real estate right here just to do that with. Oh, sorry. My bad. You know. Well, you guys shouldn't be in my way. Yeah, and who put that rock there? No. Don't tip over. Don't tip over. It's all fine. It's all fine. This train station isn't in use up here at the moment. It is... Don't hit the thing. Okay, yep. This for oil field number 2, this was some of the oil that was used in oil field 2. But of course, oil field 2 is offline at the moment because we didn't need to rebuild it with all the new oil ratios. So this oil field, this train station is currently offline. Though I do have it hooked into the rail system at the moment. So as when we do rebuild oil field number 2, we can definitely take advantage of that. So that's what's going on here. And of course now we're into the revised new desert area, right? All the crazy desert things out here. And again, there is nothing out here. I have not built on this desert floor. But we have to drive through here so as I can make a right-hand turn here shortly to get into the swamp. Which, of course, I do have lots of things going on. And so, of course, we can actually get a nice overview of the swampland and all of nuclear and all of aluminum going on at the same time. Because it's actually got 2 things going on out here. Oh, yeah. Yep. A few floating poles from all the way back from when I first started the map. And then, of course, when they changed it. All right, so now, see, at one time... driving up to from here onto the swamplands, you had to use a bunch of bridges and stuff, but now they've smoothed this all out, and they've got this nice smooth, path all the way up here now, so you can just drive up here. So this is definitely nice. Okay, look at this. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna make a small turn this way. Okay. And there's one of the ugly creatures. That's perfectly fine. All right, so this is the silica factory. Of course, aluminum uses a lot of silica. So we had to rebuild that whole factory, right? Because of course the aluminum, that all that had changed. All the ratios had changed. In fact, it was one of the few ratios that got less, which was nice. So this is all the silica that is used in all them factories. And, of course, another big belt wall of China feeding those factories. Now let's hop out of the car and have a look at all the wonderfuls. Look at this. Yeah, there you go. So there is all the aluminum down there. Now, aluminum used to be 124 refineries, and the new aluminum only required 24, I think it is. Maybe it's 48. Anyway, a lot less factories than I used to have, which is why that platform looks a little empty. It's one of the times where I actually had less stuff to repair on that build. Here, of course, is nuclear. You betcha. Which we're about to drive over to here shortly. Hey, look at all that hard work we did. Wow. The nuclear reactors themselves are fine. To make the rods, though, we had to destroy almost everything behind those nuclear reactors and rebuild it. And of course, in the far distance there, you can see the colliders. All my new colliders doing collidey things. You betcha. We have all kinds of colliders here because it takes a lot of colliders to make this map work. All right, so we're going to drive off of Mr. Silica here. Now it's getting a little slow. No surprise here. This is actually a very heavy area. But we'll take our time. We'll get down here. I'd like to get down here and have a look at it while the sun's still up. Of course, the one thing about the swampland is, like, I don't know what they've got in here for lighting or whatever, but it gets dark here like 50% faster, and the sun doesn't come up until 50% later. It's really kind of quirky that way. So I would like to get down here while we still have some light, so as we can see some of the things. Because the swampland, it's really quirky that way. Okay, and we're just driving now. Now, of course, this is you got to remember this map is 2,200 and some hours. Has been around since the release of the game, right? So this was my original Silica setup when Silica was first introduced into the game. In fact, a lot of the factories you see here are built on top of older versions of factories. So like, for example, when we were over at oil field number 1, that platform was actually built on top of the old oil field factory. And I'll show you another example of that when we get back to the main base here with the turbo motors. Got a frog in my throat. It's still trying to make a home, driving me crazy. So we're going to drive. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's all the extra bouncing? What's all this extra bouncing? Why the bouncing? Car, give me a break. I need you to just don't invent stuff, car. Don't invent stuff. Yeah, I am. I'm going to have to change. Well, when we get to 2,500 hours, I probably will just call it the 2,500 hour map, right? I think when I loaded it here, it was at 2263. So yeah, when it, oh, car, don't give me this hard time, would you? Man, I got to clean this all up one day. Of course, every time they come out with a new version release, it always seems to put half the trees back in. So I gotta clean this whole whole section up. I got a cough here. I got this crazy frog in my throat. It just doesn't want to let go. Let me do. Okay, hopefully I can speak a little clearer now. Holy smokes, I don't know what was going on there. It was like, oh man, like I had a frog and 3 goats in there, and I just couldn't talk at all. It was getting to a point where it was just all choppied up. Okay, this of course is the aluminum factory. Of course, aluminum when in its second iteration takes a lot of water. So over there is the first factory of aluminum when aluminum first came out. That's what's way over there, and we're actually going to drive by that when we leave here. Second iteration, which is this platform up here, took a lot of water, like so much water, and that's what all this is doing. But now the third iteration only uses about half the water that it used to. So those, and you can see here, like these pipes here were filled up, but those ones over there aren't working. So I guess that's a good thing. You know, one of those things, right? No worries, man. Have a good bus ride. You bet. So we're going to drive up here. Yep. Let's go, car. Okay, so we'll actually be coming back into the aluminum factory because that's where we're going to catch we'll catch the trains over here to head over back towards around the other side of the map. I do want to get in here though. As you can see, we're in the swamp now. It's always darker in the swamp area, and not only that, it it just gets dark here like so much faster. I really wish it wouldn't because it does make it very hard to work over here. But we'll get over here to the nuclear side of things. Nice little jump over the train tracks. All right, all good. So, of course, the nuclear reactors themselves were working fine, but it was the only thing that was working. And when we first loaded this map up in the experimental branch of Update 8, one of the things we had to fix was nuclear. This was the very first thing we had to get up and running again. As mentioned, way down there, we'll see it when we get down there, way down there are my boxes of nuclear rods, and there was about 10 hours of nuclear rods in storage that the map would keep running before it would die. Now the thing about the nuclear is that it's basically its own supply, right? So all the water pumps, everything that keeps nuclear running are hooked into nuclear. The worst part is that if the nuclear died, you would never get this map started back up. There's just no way you would do it. There's no way that you would get all the pumps. You would never be able to build enough coal-fired power plants and rewire this whole map to get enough water running to get all these up and running, right? So if this nuclear died, it's basically death for the map, right? And so, of course, that meant I had basically 10 hours to fix all of this over here. So, of course, the blenders didn't exist at that time. These refineries didn't exist at this time because you didn't need as much, like, concrete at that time. There was much less concrete than there is now. But, of course, all of this was rebuilt. We then tweaked the rest of the factory. So I'll come down here and just jump out of the car for a second before we lose the light. So we'll fly up here for a second. So the rest of this part of the factory was mostly okay. We just had to fix a few belts. Everything was good. We put these refineries in to get more concrete. Then you're about to run out of gas. And then as you can see there goes our components for that. I see that's still working really good. Then, of course, this all over here had to be built from scratch because, of course, we didn't have blenders in 4, but now we had them. And they're working really. These ones look good. All right, those ones are jammed. And I don't know what's going on. Those ones look okay. Well, we'll clean these ones up. We can clean these ones up. Yep. We'll fix these. Again, I did say that these do have a slight issue where the pipe, everything's measured out perfectly. These should not jam up, which is disappointing to say the least. So these should not be jamming, but the problem is that even though these are putting out exactly the same numbers, and the funny part is this row works. This row never jams. It works perfectly fine. There's 280 coming out. There's 280 coming in. It's a perfect balance, right? So this row works fine. That row does not. Why? Who knows, right? Welcome to Mysteries of the Game, people. Mysteries of the Game. So you can see this row is working really good, right? So 280 is going out to 180 liquid. What is the liquid? Yeah, so there's 280 liquid sulfuric acid going out, and there's 280 coming in, so it's perfectly balanced. But that third row, it jams up all the time. All the time. Drives me. Yeah, it's a glitch in the matrix, right? Drives me crazy. Like I said, I do have a kind of an idea on how I was going to fix that. I just never really implemented it because it has been working good and more than good enough, actually. I've got, like I said, 10 boxes of nuclear reactor rods. So we have so much extra nuclear reactor rods that third row could actually stay offline for probably hundreds of hours, and we'd be okay, right? Now, this over here, of course, is all brand new. We had to rebuild all of this, or well, this all had to be built, because the other problem with this map, besides not having any nuclear power being made, was there was 2,000 hours of nuclear waste to get rid of. And it was ugly. So ugly. Let's drive around over here for a second. So, what do you do when you have 2,000 hours of nuclear waste? Holy smokes. Just so many hours of nuclear waste. Well, okay, we needed to get rid of, one of the things we wanted to do was get rid of all this nuclear waste. And sure enough, boom, baby, that's right. What do we do with nuclear waste? We get rid of it. And we do that with this. Let's run up here. Boop. Careful, careful, careful. Okay, that will do. Yep, right there will do. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. We have colliders all over the place, getting rid of that nuclear waste. Now, the trick here is, of course, is that we still have the nuclear reactors making nuclear waste, and at the same time, we want to get rid of more of the waste than the reactors were producing. So, we are doing that. I think the nuclear is making something like probably like 400 nuclear waste, and we have the capacity to get rid of about 700 nuclear waste. So we are reduced. As you can see, the fourth row is fairly empty now. It's almost, that fourth row is empty all the way up to there. So we are getting rid of the nuclear waste, which is good. That's the whole point of it. Of course, it's just gonna take a while, right? Like, it's not happening like anytime. Oh yeah, spin them all up, boys. That's right, zoom. Oh yeah, I want to see all the lights come on. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Gotta like it when all the colliders just light right up like a Christmas tree. It's Christmas in the city. You betcha. You know, because when all your colliders light up, boom. That's right. Process all that nuclear waste, people. Process all that nuclear waste. This was a huge build, of course. But it's now actually getting rid of nuclear waste. And this, of course, was one of the last things we did on this map. So it kind of started here and ended here. It started here because we needed to get nuclear back up and running. And then we went off and fixed the rest of the map. And then one of the last things we did was to come back to take care of the waste. Because in that 263 hours, we actually added more boxes of waste. I had to add another, 25 boxes or something? So it's nice to see that nuclear waste is going bye-bye. You know, that's very important to us, as the sun is going to get ready to go down here soon. We'll take a quick drive by these guys, because I mean, come on. You get so many colliders. So many. It's so good. Yeah, boom, baby. Yeah, show me the thunder and the lightning. Yes, do it. Do it. Yeah, oh, boom. Yep, that's what we like to see, people. That's what we like to see. Lots of colors in the sky. Lighten the sky with diamonds. Oh, yeah. And, of course, this over here had to be all built, right? Because I think what's this adding? The blue stuff, right? These are like the blue gel things. So let's see what's going on over here. Yeah, these are adding the what is these crazy things? No, yeah, the encased plutonium cells, right? So that, of course, all changed. We had to change that all out. These have their own little mini storage, because at the time we weren't processing these into their final form, so I had to build a side storage unit for them. So that looks good. All right, we'll work our way back towards the nuclear backside of these. Now, of course, because the sun is almost down, it's automatically going to be dark over here in the swamp part of the map. So, not much we can do about that, really, except shrug my shoulders, I guess. But it is what it is. Of course, underneath this are like hundreds of pumps. Hundreds of pumps. Yeah, so see over here in nuclear land, it's already dark, right? As soon as you drive, you already know when you drive into the swamp because it's dark in the swamp. It's just dark all the time. All right. We'll drive up here, though. I think I made a wrong turn somewhere. Yep, you did. Can you fix that? Oh yeah. Yep. Just want to say, yup. We're just gonna drive this way. All right. So do. Yep. This is fine. He says. No problem here at all. He says. Yeah. Tuck your visor underneath the ramps here. So. I mean, I will say, when you're in the swamp, you do get a really cool look at the night sky here. I mean, it is intense, right? You know, do we get to see the galaxy map? Has it started to come up over the horizon yet? I don't think so. It's too early, right? I mean, we get the planet over there, but the galaxy usually shows up here soon. It's not here yet, though. Okay, well, that's fine. Oh, wrong. Yep, thanks, left hand. I don't need you to do that. I do need you to do this, though. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I do have a little bit of a bridging network here now so as I can get around this stuff. So, of course, as mentioned, we got many boxes of nuclear rods. I am not worried about that one row of blenders that's causing me a headache. As you can see here, we got box, all kinds of boxes. All these are full of nuclear, right? All these boxes now have plenty. We have plenty of power. So even if that blender does slow down, there's still plenty of backup. That's why I've not been so worried about it. So now we got to get back to the aluminum side of things because over in aluminum land, we're going to try and take the train back to the other side of the map. All right. You're out of gas. Oh no. Boy, it's a good thing I'm wearing like nuclear protection because being out of gas on this part of the map, you know, is bad. Everything over here kills you, right? If it isn't the nuclear killing you, it's the creatures underneath. Holy smokes. All right, we'll drive down this way. Gotta love nuclear. That's right, guys. I love the green lights. I see there's only a few here with yellow lights, so that makes me happy. That's right. Keep processing, people. Keep processing. Is the galaxy up yet? No. Oh! Is that the galaxy over there? Yeah. So it's just starting to rise now. Okay. Hopefully it'll rise a little higher before we jump on the trains Yeah, and why is the lights not on in my car? Toggle the headlights. Oh, B. Well, according to this, they are on. Except that it's really dark. I don't know why. What's going on there? Well, like, let me hop out of the car for a second. So the lights are on. Okay, so when you're outside the car, the lights are on. Okay. But when you're inside the car, the lights are on, but they don't show anything. Anyway, it is what it is, people. I don't make the game. I just play the game. All right, so we're going to get back over here to aluminum on the aluminum side of things now. And now see the game's getting a little chuggy because we've loaded in so much of the map now, right? You know, we're paying for that. Let's drive down the front side. Let's do that. I would usually drive down the side and then go around the back. But let's drive down the front side here. I don't do that very often. This is all copper in the front. The aluminum is made right behind these. And then, of course, the refineries for making aluminum ingots is behind those. This is I think this would be the nuclear train, bringing our extra nuclear supplies up. Is that what that is? No, that is the supply train for turning nuclear into additional rods and stuff, because it's got 4 cars. The nuclear train only has 1 car, right? So that's what that is. You gotta make a turn here, dude. Oh, stop! Yep. back up. I know, Matt. I know, game. We've loaded a lot of... Yeah, I need a torch from Icarus, right? Yeah, that's what I need. Wait a minute. No, that's not where you want to go. That's a very terrible crossing. The bridge you want is up here. Yeah, so we've loaded a lot of the map now. So of course the game's like, I'm trying to do so much calculation now. It's terrible. Listen, just get over it, big guy. We'll park here for a second. We'll park up here for a second. Aluminum plate is converted into aluminum sheets over here, and then of course we ship those off to wherever we need them. This is basically aluminum processing train stations. Depending on what it is we need, we send it off on trains. We're going to jump out here, climb up on one of these ladders so we can have a look at this factory here in the darkness. And then of course we're going to take one of these trains back, because there's all kinds of trains here. Yep, there's a train right there going. Okay, we'll run up this ladder. Okay, right about there, I guess. Okay, so there is aluminum from the backside. Of course, we were way up there on that hill on the far side, where the silica was being made. This here is basically the other side of the swamp. Of course, nuclear there in the back. You can see all the colliders lighting up. Yeah, and colliders. Boom, baby. There's Saturn. Or whatever planet that is. But we're not getting the galaxy today. It's really a bummer. I love looking at the galaxy. It's way over there along the edge, but usually it's much higher in the sky. And nighttime is going by. You know, the second star here is now actually getting ready to set here soon. So we've actually been over here for a little bit. Welcome back, Jamie! Yeah, it's very dark here in the swamp, isn't it? It's like super dark in the swamp. But yeah, like I will say, the one thing that was nice about when we were fixing things is the requirements of aluminum are much smaller than before, right? Like this was all refineries at one time just to make barely enough aluminum to run everything, and now, you know, it's only 1/6 the size. This was the only factory that reduced in size when we redid everything. So there you go. We got a couple of trains going on here. Of course, it'd probably be a good idea to catch one of these, right? Okay. Where's the car? I don't know. Well, it's right in front of you. It's right there, dude. Yeah. Take your car. Let's go home. Okay, let's catch this train. Yeah. Run away! Aluminum ingots. This will take. Oh, whoa! Don't get squished by don't get squished by it. This, like I said, there's a lot of aluminum trains that come in here. Okay. Let's hop a ride. Okay, we're off. Yeah. So this is a fairly busy station, right? Because we have aluminum going in a couple of different directions here, and so there's a couple of different trains. We have aluminum ingot trains, and we have aluminum silica coming from here. Because silica we use. I mean, this is my main processing center for a lot of silica too, right? And so we use silica around the map. And aluminum sheets is the third station, which of course the sheets are used for making adaptive frames or whatever the heck, whatever they're called. But now we'll be taking the train out of here as we now head up the left side of the map. We'll bring the map up here for a second, just so as everybody can see that. So we're now leaving the nuclear area there on the right. That's the one with the big red glow on it and that green box. And we're actually headed by train. We'll be heading by train to that orange box as the sun has now started coming up in the back. So we started at the very bottom of the map in that green box at the very bottom. We then worked our way up the left side of the map to the stoneworks and the elevator factory. And now we then drove across the backside into nuclear, and now we're taking the train from nuclear through that other orange box, which is oil field number 2, which doesn't exist at the moment, but it will eventually. and then back to the bottom of the map. Now let's switch this back to this. We get some train switching going on here. Up there is a bunch of copper, and that's also where nuclear comes from. Our extra nuclear uranium comes from that direction. So that's what that train line is for. This train line, of course, is heading over to the Purple Forest. The Purple Forest and the big lake over in the Purple Forest is where oil field 2 was. In much earlier versions of the game, you needed a lot more oil all over the place. So I had 3 oil well stations. Of course, with the updates with the oil, oil field 1 is now handling all my needs at the moment. So oil field 2 I didn't bring back online. But we're still heading there because it's also where we make a lot of copper material for copper sheets. So we still have stuff going on there. Just not any oil product per se at the moment as this train makes its way down the hill. Of course, we blew up all the stinky plants here. Nice. For the longest time, I always wanted to drive through here without the stinky plants, and that's a reality now. The things you had to do one time, people. The things you had to do at one time. There you can see a little bit of oil field 2 through that crack there. As we are coming down the hill, of course, we had to double track all this. This all had to be done. That was actually part of this big project. Once we had nuclear up and running, the next thing we had to do, once we had nuclear fixed and up and running, the next thing we had to do was fix all the train lines because, of course, from 4 to 8, everything had become single line switching, and we had to double all the track up, and we had to change all the track stations. All these trains had to be rebuilt. Of course, I had trains smashed all over the map. I had to go around and collect them all. Here, of course, is oil field 2. There's nothing here. Again, it's all been cleaned up, but not in use. In fact, I was doing a few test designs here, as you can see by the refineries here on the left. But these are just test designs, and on the right is copper being used to make copper ingots. And then we're going to go right by the copper sheets factory here shortly. What are we all slowing down for, guys? Guys, why are we all slowing down? I mean, there's nobody here. All right. I'll let you guys figure this out for a second because you all seem to be really excited. Yeah, like he was turning left. You didn't have to stop, dude. You were good. I mean, we're good, right? It's all good. All right. Yeah, copper ore. See, look. You can keep going. Just keep going, dude. All right. He's on his way over there. He's off to get gas. Oh no, he's off to get coal. He's perfectly fine. He's not hurting you any. So that copper right behind us is, as you can see right there. It's a little hard to see when we get into the trees, but right there you can see the factory down there for copper sheets. We use a lot of copper sheets here, of course, and all them copper sheets are made over there. As we take the train through the back side of the Purple Forest. Yeah, and of course, again, all of these train lines had to be redone. They had to be all double tracked. There, of course, is the copper sheet factory. Of course, the Purple Forest here on the right as we come up over this turn area here, and then we'll swing up and into the backside of the plains. I don't know why it's so dark in that area. I mean, I don't know if it's just something about the Illuma, whatever it is that they've got, but the swamp is always so dark over there. It's just crazy dark, right? So, of course, we have train stations handling aluminum and oscillators and all the things. As we come in here, we're going to drop off. I'll jump out here. And push the button. Don't get run over by the train, dude. All right. That's right, guys. You're doing a great job. Just keep doing that job, guys. Right on. We'll make the car out here for a second. And, of course, this is these are all our train stations. I can probably come up here a little bit more, and then, of course, this is where the stink plants were, right? There was a bunch of stink plants up here. This is a bug, right? Once you blow up the stink plants, the remnants of them are still sticking around, but they don't hurt you anymore, so that's fine. We'll do this this way. As you can see, the train stations are here. This is all aluminum, stuff like that. There's a coal station down there, and this one is the oscillator train for oscillators. There we go. So of course we make turbo motors with that. Well, then we'll fly over here. Okay, we'll remake the car because we dismantled the car to bring it with us. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go car. Let's turn it this way. Boop. There we go. Thank you. You need gas. All right. Excellent. Done. Yay us, as we are now back over at the very bottom of the map. This, of course, is the Turbo Factory section. Well, it does more than that now, right? In Update 4, in Update 4, the big challenge was how many turbo motors could you make, right? How many turbo motors can you make? And this factory used to make 50 turbo motors a minute, right? Now, the challenge, of course, is more around space elevator parts. So we don't make, I think we only make 24. Is it 20 or 24? We only make 20 or 24 turbo motors here a minute now. So you'll notice here, this is where we used to make all 50 turbo motors, but we've turned off some of these factories and diverted their resources into other items. So now we're only making, I think it's 20 or 24 turbo motors a minute, right? What are you doing, guys? You're making turbo motors. Good. That's what you're supposed to do. So you guys are making turbo motors, but only half of these machines do now, as we have diverted the rest of the material into making other cool things. So if we go over here, we'll have a look at some of the cool things before we head to the Christmas trees. You betcha. Okay. And we'll head on down here. Of course, a lot of this, these are the motors for the turbo motors, right? So there's 200 motors being made here for the turbo motors, that when we used to make 50 of them, but we don't make that many now, so some of them factories don't run. This was all redesigned, of course. This is where we make computers, right? So we make computers here to make supercomputers. As you can see here, there's Criterium computers there. Then over here we make a bunch of stuff, but I don't think these are online yet. Yeah, so these are the supercomputers. We haven't brought them online because we aren't making them yet, but we're ready to make them. So as you can see here, we've got the line of supercomputers ready to go. I think this is ready, and of course all the supercomputers and these high-speed connectors and stuff for the supercomputers, these are going to get shipped over to the elevator factory, so as they can build elevator parts. That is what's going on with that. In fact, all this stuff will leave here eventually and then make its way over to the elevator factory, right? So that's why these are still offline. This was one of the very last things we actually built, was to get these in before we set the game aside with the update 8. So Christmas trees, yo, you betcha. Let's head on up to Christmas. Boom, because that's going to be the last thing we have a look at here today. You bet. All right, we'll swing around this way. Of course, FICSIT is coming up here in just over 2 weeks. Well, I say 2 weeks. What is today anyway? I think it's like, what, the 13th? No, today's the 14th. Well, it's like, 2/3 of the 14th has gone by. So that means that FICSIT is like 16 days away, right? So, got to get ready for FICSIT. So we'll head on up here back into the main base area, the elevator area. And of course, the elevator up here, of course, shares its location with all the Christmassy things here in the happy holiday season of stuff. Right. Now, I actually have a lot of stuff up here from previous FICSIT seasons. So, as you can see, I mean, I have lots of trees up here. I think I have, like, all kinds of presents on standby. Just not using them at the moment. I thought I'd clean these trees up. Every time I do, they do an update. They grow back. Holy smokes, drives you crazy. Okay, well, we'll get up here into the Christmas factory. Yeah, so, of course, we got all kinds of trees. The trees aren't producing at the moment. Obviously, presents are only generated during the Christmas season. So we have to drive down here a little bit. Of course, I'm gonna have to clean this all up. We got all these new trees growing through here. Drives you crazy. But on the left is where the raw resources come from. I think like candy canes and brush and all that stuff is coming from over here. We then get basic Christmas balls over here, I think, right? So what do we got going on here, guys? Yeah, Christmas tree branches and ornament bundles for decorations, right? So we got that over here. I think over here is just the branches themselves, right? Yeah, so I think this is all the basic stuff. But there's no presents being generated at the moment, right? So yeah, no presents. These are the candy canes, right? And then over here, is this the brushes? Yeah, so these are the branches here, right? So you need we need presents for the branches. So all this stuff is already on standby. It just literally, as soon as FICSIT arrives, this will all fire right back up, right? Will it break when they release the Christmas update? Not as far as I know. This should just take right off. They'll be like, this will just start right back up again, right? That should be the cool part about all this. As soon as they put in the patch for the FICSIT, which is what they said on today's stream. Raj, what's up? I hope it's all good in the neighborhood. You betcha. So yeah, no presents there. See, I do have presents. I mean, I could, fire this up, right? I do have some extra presents in storage just to kind of, I don't know, because at some point in time, like in the middle of summer, if I wanted to have some Christmas stuff made, I could, right? So I saved up a bunch of Christmas presents, but I mean, we're only 16 days away now, so we're not going to worry about that too much. We're going to just, I'll just wait for the FICSIT season to start. I'm assuming they'll put out a patch here on November 30th. And as soon as they do, we'll see what's new for the Christmas season for FICSIT. And, of course, then over here is where all the rockets are made, right? So you can have different types of rockets. I think that's what that far... So you can see all the rockets down there. They're funny because the rockets don't size correctly to the belt. So the rockets are, like, super huge. But yeah, this is where you make all the real fancy stars. This is this side of the factory. This is where you make the fancy stars and balls. All the really, really more integrity stuff. And then way down here in the far back of Christmas Land. Here we go. Okay, should be rocket building, right? So down here is where all the fireworks and rocket builds are. As I mentioned, as you can see, they don't scale right. So they're like they look really weird, right? So anyway, sweet, but these should be full of fireworks, right? I can't remember how to launch fireworks. Let me see. I guess you put them in your hands? Nope. I can't remember how to do that. Alternate obelisk ammo. Use G to swap. Oh, okay. So I just got to go to... Right? So now... yeah, rockets. Sweet fireworks. Yeah, do that. No, launch it first, dude. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Sweet. Right? Boom, baby. Fireworks galore. Oh, yeah, we got fireworks all over the place here. So, I'm a little slow because I hadn't done it in a while. Ooh, fancy fireworks. All right, well, let's stick those in. Right. So if I go here, fancy fireworks. Yep. Okay, there we go. And there you go. Oh, pretty. Yeah, awesome. So, of course, what will we do? Gotta like it. That was my weekend. 1,600-kilometer round trip. 8 hours each way. For a rainy day in Florida. It was actually fun. Hey, I've been in Florida many times when it's raining. And I've had a great time in Florida when it's raining, right? I mean, it's hard not to have a good time, even in the rain, right? Yeah, so like, I guess what I'll do is I'll probably take some of the fireworks once we get the factory back up and running. I don't know if they're going to add any extra this year. Now, last year they didn't add any extra, right? They said that they were just too short on time. They didn't have any time to put in new items or anything like that. So what we're waiting for this year, of course, is now we're done with the base tour and all that stuff. Is I wonder if this year they're going to put in new items. So what we'll be doing is, you missed it, dude. You're caught up. If we need to build new factory items, that is kind of what this part over here is for. Boom, baby. Nice open space right there. Look at that. We're going to just extend the platform out here, and we'll put on any extra new stuff that they want, right? So then hopefully we can make it over here and without any hassles, and then put it right into the factory floor, right? Let's fly on over here. We'll head on over to the elevator, I guess, to kind of wrap things up maybe. It's probably a good idea. So, Satisfactory, Update 8, now on early access. 16 days until this comes alive again. This will be awesome. I was driving there to load up passengers with dogs in the car and bring them back. No, I can imagine not. Yeah, dogs are not allowed on buses. Really? Is that a thing? I mean, I guess not. It's been a long time since I've taken a bus to go anywhere. I would think they would allow that stuff nowadays, though, because a lot of these places, they do service dogs and all that craziness. Can I get on the space elevator? No, they got it all blocked. I hated that they did that. Can I sit on the arm? No, you're not gonna let me sit on the arm of the space elevator? You stink. Whatever. I'll just use this. All right. Okay, we'll go up here instead. Boo you, elevator. Boo you. Okay, do that. Where's Mr. Creature? Is he flying around here? I mean, we could always take him for another ride. Oh, he just went by. He's just gone by. All right, that's fine. Yeah, so let's have a look at the map of all things. Even though it's not fully updated. There we go. I guess actually it is. It is kind of updated because all the green boxes are all the factories that are actually working. So starting from the bottom, of course, is where we are right now, the rectangle box at the bottom and the little green box beside it. The green box at the bottom is where we're standing at right now. Of course, this is the factory we are standing in. This is where turbo motors and supercomputers are made. The little box beside it, which is right over here, right in behind these pillars here, is where all the copper sheeting is made, and that's that little box. And then behind us, right behind the Christmas factory here, and just up over the hill, is that rectangle that's turned sideways, and that's where all the oscillators are made. That, of course, is all fixed up. And of course, then there's the little box in behind that. And that's actually coal power. There's 24 coal power stations there, and that I did fix. I did fix that after nuclear because we wanted that to be up and running again, right? Not to say as we were ever going to use coal power anytime soon, But it is running. I mean, it's working great. And of course, if like something were to happen to nuclear, if I was ever to really try and fix it, it would be those 24 coal plants that would have to do the job, right? Because I mean, there's just no other real big power source. I mean, I do have geothermal plugged in all across the map, but whatever. Then, of course, moving up the left side of the map there, of course, we've been to Oil Field 1 earlier in this stream, and, of course, Oil Field 1 looks awesome. Of course, the orange box in the upper left-hand corner was where we started at shortly after the stream started today, which, of course, is the elevator factory, making all the elevator parts. And then, of course, we drove across the backside over to the nuclear factory on the right-hand side, which is where, of course, the nuclear factory was, and the aluminum factory. And then we took the train all the way back around to this side of the map, because, of course, nuclear is way over there. And then we took the train all the way down to there. And then we got in the car and came back around here. That's what we did. That's what we do. Yeah, well, what I will do, we're going to bring this back for Christmas, right? For the holiday season, as it were. We'll see what we're going to get out of it, right? Because, I mean, we got 24 days of Christmas, so we're going to have this back a little bit. We'll have the Advent calendar down there in the main station, and with the Advent calendar back, we'll go through and explore it some. When we do that, what I'll do is I will actually do an update to the map. Now, I don't expect that red glow to change very much because there's still, got to be at least a couple hundred boxes of nuclear over there. Yes, I've recycled probably 40 boxes, but I mean, there's got to be at least another couple hundred boxes of nuclear over there. So actually, I wouldn't expect that to change that much. I mean, it looks great, but I actually wouldn't expect that to change that much. I would think that's still going to be glowing like that. Until I actually get rid of all that nuclear waste, that red circle is probably just going to look like that. It's probably not going to look any different. But we'll see how it goes anyway. With that, I'm Max. This has been Satisfactory, Update 8, 2,265 hours on this map. This map has existed since the very first day the game released. And, of course, we have updated this map so many times. Multiple iterations of factories have been built on this map. Hey, Jeff. What do you think, Jeff? Yeah, that's right. Jeff, of course, is touring the territory. It's all good for him. This map has been updated, multiple times with multiple factories, all the things. Of course, a big thanks to all the recent subscribers that are going at the bottom of the screen. This will be back in about 16 days for December. Now, also releasing December 1st is another game, so this may not come back until December 2nd, but it will be back for the holiday season, right? Because we want this. We want all the trees and the things to come alive, and of course all the lights will be on everything. It'll be awesome, right? We can all see all the snowmen around. We have to put snowmen everywhere and all the other stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things to do, right? Because it's the Christmas times. You got to do that. Of course, a big thanks to chat, including Mr. O, Mr. Johnson, Jamie, Raj, all good in the neighborhood. I'm glad everybody's doing well. All the things. And for those watching later on, I appreciate it very much. So, we'll be back. This will be back in 16 days. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're back to Icarus. It's going to be weird to have Icarus on a Wednesday, because it's usually on a Monday, but this came out today, and we just had to have this happen today, right? It's now out on early access. You'll be able to enjoy everybody there, of course. So tomorrow will be Icarus. We're still working on the open world map, building the mega base inside the mega trees. So we'll be doing that one. And then, of course, Infraspace and Starfield to end out the week is where we are. I want to thank you all for hanging out. Check the links in the description for Discord, Instagram, all the other thingies, right? That's what we do. And I appreciate it. With that, I'm off to have a bite to eat, because that's what doctors tell me to do. All right, and I will see you all on the next one. Take care.